I was working on my cabin porch when I saw them coming. Two guys. Security uniforms. One had a gun on his hip. They weren't there to help. They were there to stop me. By force if necessary. All because I was restoring a piece of history that the HOA wanted destroyed. Let me take you back to how this nightmare started. Picture this. You buy a beautiful old cabin, spend months lovingly restoring it with your own hands, and then the HOA sends armed security guards to your property to threaten you into tearing it all down. Yeah, that actually happened to me. My name is Tyler, and this is the story of how I bought a historic cabin, restored it to its former glory, and fought an HOA that wanted to erase a piece of history because it didn't match their modern aesthetic. About 18 months ago, I was driving through the mountains looking at properties. I'd been wanting to buy land for years, somewhere peaceful where I could escape city life on weekends. That's when I saw it. An old log cabin, probably built in the 1940s, sitting on 3 acres of beautiful wooded land. It was run down, sure. Roof needed work, windows were broken, porch was sagging. But it had character, history, soul. There was a for sale sign out front. I called immediately. The property was in a development called Pine Summit. Had an HOA, but according to the real estate agent, it was minimal. Just road maintenance and snow removal. The cabin had been there decades before the HOA even existed. I bought it. Paid cash. $200,000 for the land and cabin. My plan was simple. Restore it. Bring it back to life while keeping its historic character. I'm a carpenter by trade, so I had the skills. This was going to be my passion project. I spent the first month just cleaning. Removing decades of debris, assessing what needed repair. The bones of the cabin were solid. Good logs, strong foundation. It just needed love. Then I started the restoration. New roof using traditional materials. Replaced broken windows with period-appropriate ones. Rebuilt the porch using reclaimed wood. I was doing everything right, keeping the historic integrity. About 2 months and I got a letter. HOA letterhead. Dear Mr. Brennan, it has come to our attention that you are conducting unauthorized construction on Lot 23. All exterior work requires architectural approval. Please submit plans immediately or cease work. I called the HOA president, a guy named Richard. Real estate developer type, all about property values. Richard, this is Tyler Brennan. I got your letter about my cabin restoration. Yes, you need board approval before doing any exterior work. The cabin was built in the 40s. It predates the HOA by decades. I'm just restoring it. His voice was cold. The cabin is an eyesore. Frankly, it should be demolished. It doesn't fit our community standards. Demolished? It's a historic structure. It's a liability. The board wants it torn down and replaced with something modern. That's not happening. I bought this property specifically for the cabin. Then you made a poor investment. Submit your plans for review or we'll take action. I hung up furious. I called a property lawyer, same guy I'd used for the purchase. His name was David. Tyler, the cabin predates the HOA. They have no authority over a pre-existing structure. Keep restoring it. Document everything. So I did. I took photos of every stage. Kept receipts. Made sure everything was structurally sound and up to code. 3 weeks later, I was working on the porch when 2 guys showed up. Security uniforms, one had a gun on his hip. Tyler Brennan? Yeah. We're private security hired by Pine Summit HOA. We need you to stop work immediately. I set down my hammer. On whose authority? The HOA board. You're doing unauthorized construction. I'm restoring my cabin. On my property. The HOA has no authority here. The armed guard stepped closer. Sir, we're not asking. We're telling. Stop work or we'll be forced to take action. What action? You going to shoot me for building a porch? We're authorized to remove trespassers and prevent property damage. I own this property. You're the trespassers. They didn't leave. They just stood there watching me, hands near their belts. Intimidating me. I pulled out my phone, started recording. Get off my property. Now. The armed guard pointed at me. You've been warned. Next time we come back, it won't be friendly. They left. I was shaking. Not with fear. With rage. I called David immediately. Told him everything. They sent armed guards to threaten you? Tyler, that's illegal. That's intimidation, potentially assault. File a police report. Today, I drove to the sheriff's office, filed a report, showed them the video. The deputy who took my statement shook his head. Sir, private security has no authority to threaten property owners. If they come back, call us immediately. I also filed for a restraining order against the HOA and their security company. Got it within 48 hours. They couldn't come within 500 feet of my property. But the HOA wasn't done. A week later, I arrived at the cabin to find a county building inspector there. Mr. Brennan? I'm here to inspect your structure. We received a complaint about unpermitted work. From who? Anonymous complaint through the HOA. I showed him everything. My permits, my photos, the work I'd done. All by the book, all properly documented. He looked around for an hour. Then he signed off. Everything's in order. Structure's sound, work is quality. Whoever complained wasted my time. The HOA was trying to shut me down through the county. When that didn't work, they went nuclear. I got a lawsuit notice. The HOA was suing me for maintaining a structure that violates community aesthetic standards, and demanding I either demolish the cabin or pay $50,000 in fines. David filed our response. The cabin predates the HOA, it's historic, it's on private property, they have no authority. The case took 6 months to get to court. During that time, Richard showed up personally twice trying to buy me out. Offering me what I paid, then offering 20% more. Just sell Tyler. Take the money, walk away. No. This cabin stays. Court day came. County courthouse, packed room. Apparently, word had spread about the historic cabin case. The HOA's lawyer argued that the cabin was an eyesore, damaged property values, didn't fit community standards. Then David stood up. He presented everything. Photos of the cabin from the 1940s showing it was historic. County records showing it predated the HOA by 40 years. Documentation of my restoration work. Letters from the Historical Society supporting preservation. He showed the video of the armed guards threatening me. The judge's face went dark. You sent armed security to threaten a property owner doing legal work on his own land? Richard's lawyer stammered. They were there to ensure compliance. With what? You have no authority over a pre-existing historic structure. You sent armed guards to intimidate someone exercising their property rights. The judge looked at everything. Then he ruled. The cabin predates the HOA and is a historic structure. The HOA has no authority over it. The lawsuit is dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, Mr. Brennan is awarded legal fees. And I'm referring the matter of the armed security threat to the district attorney. He banged the gavel. We won. But the best part? After the ruling, a local news station picked up the story. HOA tries to demolish historic cabin. It went viral locally. The backlash against the HOA was massive. Residents were furious that the board was trying to erase history. A petition started circulating to remove Richard and the board. Within 2 months, Richard and the entire board were voted out. The new board's first action? Passing a historic preservation resolution protecting pre-existing structures. My cabin? I finished the restoration. It's beautiful. Original log construction, period-appropriate details, but modernized inside with plumbing and electricity done right. The Historical Society gave me an award for preservation. The local paper did a feature story. And the property value? Doubled. Richard's prediction that it would hurt property values? Dead wrong. Turns out people love living near a piece of history. Here's what I learned. Some HOAs see anything that doesn't fit their cookie-cutter vision as a problem. They don't care about history, character, or uniqueness. They want conformity. But property rights matter. Historic preservation matters. And when someone tries to bully you into destroying something beautiful, you fight back. That cabin stood for 80 years before the HOA existed. It'll stand for 80 more after they're gone. Thanks for listening. This is Tyler signing off from my historic cabin. The one the HOA tried to destroy. The one that's now protected forever.